Hello. Thank you. That's okay. I love you. So whenever I was preparing for today, this passage came to me because I actually was challenged to live it out. It's Matthew 11, 28 through 30, and it says, "Are you tired, worn out, burned out on religion? Come to me. Get away with me and you'll recover your life. I'll show you how to take a real rest. Walk in me and work with me. Watch how I do it. Let the unforced rhythms of grace and let me teach you. I won't lay anything heavy or ill-fitting on you. Keep company with me and you'll learn to live freely and lightly." And how I was taught this verse was in a really hard way. I had to, quite frankly, die to myself. Quite a few years ago, I found out about the atrocity of human trafficking. I started in the movement. I started doing a lot of different things. I was very justice-oriented and justice Megan, like let's go and free the children and keep them safe. And that very much came from a lot of like trauma and stuff that happened in my life and from childhood and being healed and through this process. And I started volunteering. Our church group started volunteering with a pastor up in this city, and we were working with him, and we were working with the children up there and trying to keep them safe because they were a very vulnerable population succumbing to human trafficking. And then, everything was going good. You know what I'm talking about? Whenever, like, God's moving and things are happening and people are being kept safe and people are being educated and people are coming to Christ through our ministry. And then I woke up one morning to the news article that someone sent me, and he was arrested for federal charges of child pornography. And it was heartbreaking. Quite honestly, and I didn't even know the message before me, but I was angry. I was so mad. And so many people turned away immediately. Food banks, people pulled out, churches pulled out. And it gave me, I was like, oh gosh, well, am I going to take the religious way out? Or I'm going to stay in relationship? It was a hard choice, and people didn't like me for making this choice, and gave me a hard time for it too. But I did choose to reach out. Reached out to his wife, went and visited him in jail, and it was my first time to really do anything like this. He cried, I cried, I forgave him, and I'll never forget what he told me. He said, he said that he felt more free inside a prison than outside. And you know why? Because he had to face his addiction of 50 years. And he was in his 60s. And he said, the saddest part, Megan, is that so many young men are coming through the prison system and they're experiencing the same thing. They don't know, they're not loved, they don't feel like they belong in this world. They have horrible, family life and no one to really love them like God loves us, And even in that moment, we talked some more, and you know what he's doing? He's in federal prison, and he has a sexual addiction program that he started within the prison system, to try to minister and do some great things along that path. And I think it was just something for me because even though in that moment I got it right, I don't get it right sometimes. Like, we don't get it right sometimes, And I'm honestly a little burned out on religion. I don't know about you. I gave my life to Jesus whenever I was 7, and it was a very religious atmosphere growing up of, you had to do this and you couldn't do that, and you had to wear this and you couldn't wear that, and no makeup or whatever, the rules that were put on us whenever you're there and you're with people that are also making mistakes, because we're all kind of messy. We're messy humans, and that's why God's with us and Jesus is with us. And if we follow Jesus and if we follow his ways, then we are going to live this amazing, adventurous life where whenever religion tells us to turn away, and whoever the student was that was on that video last week of saying, one wrong thing and you're done in a church, it's not true. Like these are lies from the enemy, that are coming after all of us. So I challenge you today to lean into the relationship and to lean into this life with Jesus and to do things that are not, what religious people might say is okay. You might make some people mad, and that's okay. Love y'all.